Hello, my dear students. This is Pratibha Sonone from Sri Jain Vidya Prasarak Mandals, Rasiklal M. Dhariwal College of Pharmacy, Chinsod, Pune. Today, we are going to discuss about evaluation of crude drug part 1, which is from a chapter from first year D pharmacy student from pharmacognosy subject. Learning outcomes. After watching this video, you will be able to define drug evaluation and different methods of evaluation such as organoleptic evaluation, microscopic evaluation, chemical evaluation, physical evaluation and biological evaluation. Today we are going to discuss only organoleptic evaluation and microscopic evaluation in this video. In next video we will discuss about chemical, physical and biological evaluation. Now first, what is the meaning of drug evaluation? Drug evaluation means the confirmation of its identity and determination of its quality and purity of the crude drug. If it is adulterated, it also includes the detection of the nature of adulteration in the crude drug, and the extent of adulteration is known as evaluation. Several methods are employed in detecting adulteration in genuine drugs. The form of drug provides a clue for the method of detection of adulteration to be followed. In ordinary course of study, the morphological characters may suffice the need of detection. But in case of powder drugs, the microscopic characters, while in case of liquid drugs, chemical test and one of the physical standards such as specific gravity, optical rotation and solubility may be helpful in detection of adulteration. The nature and degree of evaluation of crude drug has undergone a systematic change. Initially, the crude drugs were identified by comparison with standard description available. But nowadays, due to advancement in chemical knowledge of crude drugs, at present, evaluation also includes the method of estimating the active constituent present in the crude drug, in addition to its morphological and microscopic analysis. So considering all these factors, the drug evaluation involves different methods such as organoleptic evaluation, microscopic evaluation, chemical evaluation, physical evaluation and biological evaluation. First, we will discuss organoleptic evaluation. As the name suggests, organoleptic, it includes the evaluation of drugs by its color, odor, taste, size, shape and spatial features like touch, texture, sound, etc. Organoleptic method of evaluation is carried out with the help of sensory organs. The study of form of a crude drug is morphology, while description of the form is called as morphography. Adulteration, aromatic odor of umbelliferous fruits and sweet taste of licorice are the example of this type of evaluation. While evaluating by this method, there are some restrictions are also. Drugs change in shape and size during drying and packing. So it is difficult to study the drug by organoleptic evaluation. In organoleptic evaluation, we are studying the morphological characters of the drug. So, if there is any change in the shape, size, color, odor, taste, that time it is very difficult to identify the drug by the organoleptic evaluation. For example, length of cinnamon quill is 1 meter, but it is found in small pieces in the market. Another example, digitalis leaves breaks in small pieces during drying and packing. The adulteration of seed of Strychnus nux vomica with the seed of Strychnus nux blanda or Strychnus potatorum, caraway with Indian oil, Indian deal, Alexandrian senna with dog senna or Palthe senna are identified by morphological technique. In case of a cellular product, unorganized drugs, form of the drug depends totally on the method of preparation of the drug. Thus, gum acacia is found in the form of ovoids while tagakant is marketed as vermiform ribbon with longitudinal striations. Second method of evaluation is microscopic evaluation. This method helps in detailed examination of a drug and can be used to identify organized drugs. Organized drugs, that is the drugs which are having cellular structure, be their known histological characters. In this method, transverse section and longitudinal sections of the crude drugs are taken and they are observed under the microscope with the help of different staining agents. Microscopic evaluation covers study of different types of cells, their arrangements, presence or absence of starch grains, size of starch grains, cell contents, trichomes, fibers, vessels, etc. in the crude drugs. For example, Noxomica have lignified trichomes, whereas phenyl contains vascular bundles which are surrounded by reticulate parenchyma. It contains vitae having volatile oil. So, all these microscopic structures, they are identified with the help of microscopical evaluation or with the help of microscope with, with using a staining agent. Staining agent stains different structures in the cells and we can easily identify the particular cell of the crude drug. Now there are different methods which are involved in microscopical evaluation. One of them is stomatal number, stomatal index, vein isolate number, palisade ratio and quantitative microscopy, which is also called as Lycopodium spore method. First, we will discuss stomatal number. Before that, we should know what do you mean by stomata. Stomata, it is a minute epidermal opening with following characteristic. A central pore with the two kidney-shaped similar cells containing chloroplast known as guard cells and a varying number of subsidiary cells covering the guard cells. Here in diagram you can observe the different types of stomatas. Stomata perform two functions in the plant body. The primary and most important function of stomata is gaseous exchange and the secondary function is transpiration. It is not essential that each plant must have stomata. The leaves of bryophytes and submerged leaves of aquatic plants do not contain stomata. Generally, stomata are present in green parts of the plant, mostly in the leaves, but absent in roots. Apart from leaves, they are also present in the stems, for example, ephedra, flowers, for example, clove, and fruits, for example, fennel. However, it is observed that stomata are abundantly present in dicot leaves. In some cases, they are present on the upper surface of the leaves, while in other cases, it is present on lower surface. In some, the stomata are present on both the surfaces of the leaves. The distribution of stomata between upper and lower epidermis in dicot leaves shows greater variation. Different types of stomata are there depending upon the type of guard cells and arrangement of the subsidiary cells. They are divided into moss type, gymnospermous type, graminous type and dicotyledonous type. The dicotyledonous stomata are classified into different types depending upon the form and arrangements of subsidiary cells such as parasitic stomata. You can observe the size and different arrangement of the cells in the diagram. Secondly, diacytic stomata. Third is anisocytic stomata. Fourth is anomocytic stomata. And fifth is actinocytic stomata. Now we'll discuss what is stomatal number. Stomatal number is defined as the average number of stomata per square mm of epidermis of the leaf. The actual number of stomata per square mm may vary for the leaves of the same plant grown in different environment or under different climatic conditions. That is, number of stomatal number will be constant, but there may be chances of variation in the stomata which in the drug which are developed or which are uh, grown in different environment or in different climatic conditions. It is however shown that the ratio of the number of stomata to the total number of epidermal cells in a given area of epidermis is fairly constant for any age of the plant and under different climatic conditions, hence used as a diagnostic character for the identification of a leaf drug. So stomatal number is basically the average number of stomata per square mm of the epidermis of the leaf, and this stomatal number will be constant for the drug with the different climatic conditions also. For example, the Datura stramonium, its stomatal number is 87 and Hyoscyamus niger stomatal number is 141. Second is stomatal index. It is the percentage which the number of stomata forms to the total number of epidermal cells, each stoma being counted as one cell. And stomatal index is calculated by the formula S multiplied by 100 divided by E plus S, where SI is stomatal index, E is epidermal cells in the same area, S is number of stomata per unit area. It helps in identification of leaf drug and determination of its variety and purity. For example, Indian Sena 17 to 20, Alexandrian Sena 10.8 to 12.6. Vein isolate number. A vein isolate is the small area of green tissue surrounded by the veinlets. So you have to count the veinlets in a particular area. It is the number of veinlets per square mm of the leaf surface. It is constant for given species such as Digitalis purpurea, which is having 2 to 5.5. Then Erythroxylon coca 8 to 12 and Cassia angustifolia 19 to 23. Fourth microscopic character is palisade ratio. It is the average number of palisade cells beneath one epidermal cell, using 4 continuous epidermal cells for the count. It is constant for the different species such as Atropa belladonna. It is constant from 6 to 10, the Datura stramonium 4 to 7 and Digitalis purpurea 3.7 to 4.2. In diagram, it is shown that epidermal cells are there and the epidermal cells which are covered by the palisade cells. Last microscopic characters of the crude drug is quantitative microscopy, and which is also called as Lycopodium spore method. It is an important analytical technique for powdered drugs, especially when chemical and other method of evaluation of crude drugs fails as accurate measure of quality. So when there is failure of other methods for the identification of the drug, that time Lycopodium spore method will be used to measure the quality of the crude drug. Lycopodium spores are very characteristic in shape and appearance and exceptionally uniform in size up to 25 micron meter. On an average, 94,000 spores per mg of powder Lycopodium are present. A powder drug is evaluated by this technique. If it contains well-defined particles which may be counted, for example, starch grains or pollen grains. Single layered cells or tissues, the area of which may be traced under suitable magnification and actual area will be calculated, or the object of uniform thickness will be checked. The percentage purity of an authentic powder ginger is calculated as N multiplied by W multiplied by 94,000 multiplied by 100 divided by S multiplied by M multiplied by P, where is N is the number of characteristic structures such as starch grains in 25 fields, W is weight in mg of lycopodium taken, S is number of lycopodium spores in the same 25 fields, then M is the weight in mg of the same sample, and P is 2,86,000 in case of ginger starch grains powders. This method can be used for evaluation of powdered clove, ginger, cardamom, nutmeg, and umbelliferous fruits. For example, the size of starch grains is also important in detection of adulterants. So, here in lycopodium spore method, we can use lycopodium spores and calculate the number of starch grains present in the drug. Second example, in case of Cinnamomum cassia, the diameter of starch grains is usually more than 10 micron. The dimension of fibers also helps in detection of adulteration in case of cinnamon. The number of sclerenchymatous cells per square mm in cardamom is one of the criteria for the detection of varieties of cardamom seed in powdered form. Hope all of you have understood what do we mean by drug evaluation and two techniques, organoleptic evaluation and second microscopic evaluation. In next video we will discuss chemical, physical and biological evaluation. Thank you.